Okay, so now we're going to move on to some methodological principles for teaching these receptive skills. Remember, we're still in the input part, which is the way the student gets the information. We have the listening part, which could be through songs, films, or actually hearing native speakers. We have the reading part, which is reading signs that you see on your daily basis, or food labels that you read. And on the reading part, we have two stages. We have the decoding, which is actually our reading and understanding, and we have the interpreting part, where you interpret the information and you can use it for your own business. Now, I want to pay attention to focus on this part. It's really important that when you teach, I think that in general, when you teach, it is important to know that the information that you're giving, it has to be age relevant. That means that you're not gonna use the same information that you teach to a kid to the one that you teach to an adult. It has to be interesting for them, and it has to be useful content, because if it is something that doesn't motivate them or is not interesting to the students, you will have a little more of complications in teaching the language skills in this case. So it's really important that you pay attention to this part. It's really important to know the student, what he likes, what he doesn't like, so you can work with your teaching model and you can do it in a better way. So just keep that in mind. Now, we're gonna move on to some steps that actually help you at the time that you're teaching, well, actually developing the receptive skills. You're not teaching them like actually teaching in a certain way that you teach math or something like that, but you are helping the student to develop this kind of soft skills, or skills, sorry. For example, with my kids on the geography class, I have to read them stories about the country that we're looking at. We're seeing right now geography of the world, sorry. So we're looking to certain countries. For example, today we saw Chile, and to introduce a topic to them, I have to say, okay, today we're gonna see Chile, we're gonna see this kind of stuff, so they can get into the idea of what we're gonna look today. We have a warm-up activity, which means they get into the subject, into the topic. I'll show them an example of this. I'll show them pictures of the country, where it's located, is it big, is it small, what are the countries that are next to it, and stuff like that. So there's a warm-up activity. You actually help them to get into the topic by showing images, hearing songs, seeing a video or something that they get into the topic. We have the next step, that is pre-reading or pre-listening task. In this part, just let me get the things that I wrote. Is when they actually make predictions about what they're gonna see. They get a specific information about the things. For example, if you do a warm-up activity, in this case, when we saw Chile, we saw the part where it's located. So they predicted that in Chile there were wars because it was very small, the country. And then we move on to the next step, which is while reading, listening. You have to keep your students' attention while you're reading or listening to something. In this case, what I do is that I ask them questions. I cut the reading of the story, and I ask questions about What do you think about this? Is it interesting? What do you think is gonna happen next? So I keep their attention. You can do it too by, for example, in the listening part, every time that you hear a certain word, you're gonna raise your hand, or you're gonna clap, or things like that. And if they're reading, you can ask them to highlight information for you, so you can keep the student's attention. We have the post-reading or listening step, which means that they give an opinion about what they read or listened to. They actually bring the attitude that they have towards the reading or the listening. I did like the article, I didn't like it. I think that this could happen. I think that it's interesting, this part. So they actually make a dialogue or a discourse about what they read or listen, and this actually helps you to understand if you actually get information, or if you need to give another activity to them to get the information that you want them to learn.